Hello, welcome to Verbally. I am Teacher Oakley, and sorry for the little bit of a late start. Got a little carried away in the last class. Went a little late. In any case, in this class, we are going to be looking at modal verbs. Modals, actually, yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're going to be looking at modals at this time slot. Modals are words like can, could, should, would, could, may, might, and the like, which we use to kind of modify meaning in a sentence. Today, specifically, we're going to be looking at using may and might. Fairly straightforward lesson, actually. I will talk about the use of these modal verbs for 5 or 10 minutes, and then you guys will practice lots of exercises to get the feel of how to use them. Then we'll look at a little more complex information and maybe modal perfects, past tense, using these modals, and you guys will do some more exercises. So that's the idea for the class. So by the end of the class, you should be able to use these modals with all confidence. Welcome to the class, David. Hello.
Hello, teacher.
Hello. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Also, hello again, Carolina.
Hello, teacher.
Hi again. And Daniel, welcome back. Hi, Daniel.
Hey, good to see you.
Hey. Okay. As I said, I'm gonna more or less lecture for a few minutes here. If while I'm talking about these points you have any questions, don't be shy to interrupt me and ask a question. I'll try to clarify the information. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do a screen share and I'll get started. May and might. First of all, we're looking at may and might to show probability, that something is possible. Okay, it may be true, it might be true. Okay, perhaps it is true. She might know, she may know, like that. The negative forms, pretty straightforward, or may not, or might not. May not does not have a contracted form. Please note that. Almost everything, every auxiliary or modal that you use with not has a contracted form. For example, might not, you can use mightn't. All right. Obviously, other auxiliaries don't, can't, won't, and other modals have contracted forms: couldn't, wouldn't, shouldn't. There's no mayn't, doesn't exist. So, okay. It may not be true. We need to use full form. It mightn't work here anymore. She mightn't work here anymore. She might not. Perhaps. Maybe, maybe not is the idea. Okay, the structure's pretty straightforward. The subject noun, may, not, or not, depending if you're going to be negative. And then notice we often use be something, be, then a gerund, okay, might be common, or just an infinitive form of a verb. Something very important and a common mistake language learners make is when they use modals, they try to put different forms of the verb, an ing verb or a past tense verb or something like that, directly behind the modal. You can't. The only thing, you can put not, and then it has to be an infinitive verb. Actually, without the to. So it has to be what's called a bare infinitive. A bare infinitive is basically like the present tense of the verb, but without to. Oh dear, what happened? Okay. Okay. So notice in the box the structure: be, know, work, want. Okay, you could be doing. You could be and then a noun or a noun phrase, or just a verb, but always it's going to be a bare infinitive behind not just may or might, but any modal. Okay, before I continue, let me welcome a couple newcomers to the class. Hello, Salvatore. Welcome. How are you? Good to see
Hello,
you.
I'm fine. Hello, okay.
Hello, hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How have you been? Haven't seen you in a little while.
Yes, because I didn't time to study, teacher, but now I can. I'm
Okay.
glad.
Well, it's good to see you again.
Thank you.
And also, Raina has joined us. Hi, Raina.
Hi, hello.
Hi, good to see you. Welcome.
Hello, everybody. Good night for me.
Good night. Good evening would be more appropriate.
Okay, good evening.
We say good night when we're saying goodbye to somebody, or we're saying goodbye because you're going to sleep, or we're saying goodbye, I'm going home now, at nighttime. All right. We say good evening when we're saying hello, and it happens to be nighttime. All right.
Okay.
So, good evening.
Good
Okay.
evening, everybody.
There you go. Okay, past tense. We are going to use these constructions. Very important you remember this. May, have, and then the past participle of the verb. For example, done. Might have, past participle of the verb, done. Okay? Or done is just an example. Whatever, pardon me, whatever the verb is, it will be past participle. Okay. So in dialogue examples here, and it would occur in a dialogue very often. I wonder why Kate didn't answer her phone. She may have been asleep. Okay, perhaps she was asleep. All right. I can't find my own phone anywhere. You might have left it at work. All right, past tense. You left it at work earlier in the past. Why wasn't Amy at the meeting yesterday? She might not have known about it earlier. I wonder why David was in such a bad mood yesterday. He may not have been feeling well. Okay. Same deal, same structure. Well, not the same because you have to have. Notice where not falls in front of have. All right, if you need it. And then the past participle. Instead of the infinitive, the past participle. So this is the past tense structure. Kind of the same idea. What I was trying to say is if you need the verb to be with a noun, you use the past participle, which is been. And then a prepositional phrase or a noun is possible, or a gerund noun, doing, working, feeling, or just the past participle of the verb. Could is similar to may and might. Slight difference in that with could, you're not really saying, oh, maybe. You're saying this is just one possibility, which often doesn't really make any difference in understanding, but occasionally it's important to note that can and could actually just mean you're not really saying the degree of probability something might happen. You're simply saying that it is one possibility out of many. When you use may or might, it's slightly implied that you're talking about roughly, vaguely, 50%, 50-50, maybe, maybe not. Okay, it's a strange story, but it could be true. All right, it's possible. You could have left your phone at work. It's one possibility out of many. So the slight difference, you could have left your phone at work, means you could have left it at work, in the car, on the bus, in your desk, whatever. There's many possibilities. You might have left it at work is kind of implying, well, it's 50-50. A little bit. Again, most times it doesn't make any difference to the understanding of the listener, but occasionally it could be important. Keep in mind that the negative of could doesn't work the same way as might not and may not. Couldn't means it's impossible, not 50-50, okay? So there you see why how it's a little different when we look at the negative. You can kind of see what I was trying to explain. Might not or might not means 50-50, but couldn't means not a possibility. So you go from one possibility of many, could, to couldn't, which means 0% chance. Okay, Sarah couldn't have got my message, otherwise she would have replied. It's just not possible. It's not a possibility. So that's the difference. Okay, let's go ahead and try some exercises here. Simple exercise to begin with. Just rephrase the sentence using the modal might. That's it. So perhaps Helen is in her office. She might be in her office. Very simple and straightforward. Okay, David, number 2.
Okay. Perhaps Helen is busy. She might be busy.
That's it. You got it. All right, Carolina, number 3.
Perhaps she is working. She may be working.
She may be working. Okay, you're using may, but if we were to use might.
She might be working.
Yeah, all right. She might be working. Okay, that's it. She might be working. By the way, the perhaps, it's not necessary to use it, like Carolina just said. She might be working. That's fine. Sometimes we actually will actually add perhaps, and that's fine too. Perhaps she might be working. Maybe she might be working. Sometimes we add one of these perhaps, maybe words. You don't need it because might says it by itself. A little bit redundant, but sometimes you will hear that. Daniel, number 4.
Okay, perhaps she might be wanting to be alone? How wrong is that?
Well, you can't. It sounds strange to say be wanting to be alone. I am wanting to be alone. We can't really use that structure. Can't you really use want as an ing? I mean, it's possible, but not really in this circumstance. It would sound much more natural to just say she might want to be alone. That's it. Okay? She might want to be alone. So just the bare infinitive after might. Okay, and the reason why is because some verbs they're called non-continuous verbs. They are stative verbs. They describe the state that things are in. And so it sounds awkward to use them as a gerund. Okay, words like you're really not supposed to say, I am loving her. You're not supposed to use an ing because that describes the state of your emotions. I am owning a car. Doesn't work. You have to say, I own a car, I love her, I want a car, not I am wanting a car. These non-continuous stative verbs don't work so well as gerunds. Okay. She might be owning a new car. It sounds weird. It sounds strange. So we would say she might own a new car. I don't know. Okay? We don't usually use the ing form of these, and it sounds awkward to even use it as a gerund noun form. Okay, so you might want to avoid that. Okay, hopefully you got the idea there. Salvatore, number 5.
Okay. Perhaps she was ill yesterday. Mm, she she might have been ill yesterday.
Got it. Nailed it. Good. Great. Has to be past tense, and that was it. All right. Good job. Okie doke. All right. Number 6. Reina.
Yes.
Okay. Number 6.
Number 6. Okay. Perhaps she went home early. Perhaps she could go home early.
Well, can you try to use might in a sentence? No,
Okay,
and
so
okay. Now, see, now that is exactly where it wouldn't make sense. Where could means a possibility. Perhaps she could go home early. Perhaps she could finish her report. Perhaps she could go to a meeting. Perhaps she could go out to an early lunch. Perhaps she could go to New Brunswick on a business trip. You're just saying that's one of many possibilities. But the idea here is not to say one of many possibilities. The idea here is to say, to guess where she went.
okay.
Or where she was,
So can I?
rather.
Yeah. So can I try again?
Yeah.
Okay. Perhaps she might go home early.
Well, it's in the past. Okay, see, she went home early, so this has already happened. It's in the past. So we have to use the past tense.
Might went.
Okay, we have to use the past tense form. If you remember, the past tense form, might, okay, might have, and then past participle.
Okay. So she might gone.
Might have gone.
Might have gone home early.
That's it. She might have gone home early. That's it.
Okay.
Okay, you need to have and the past participle, and that's it. Okay.
Okay.
David, number 7.
Perhaps she had to go home early. She might have. She might have had to go home early.
You got it. Okay, that one's a little tricky. All right.
Yes.
Right, because, all right. It's tricky with had. You don't know if you're trying to do a past perfect or what's going on. Yeah, I understand. That was a tricky one. But you got it. That's correct.
Thank you.
She might have had to go home early. Okay. That's it. It still remains the same. Even if you're kind of reporting or if you're You're doing, okay. It's still going to be that past tense. It's still the same structure in the past. Okay, Carolina, number 8.
Perhaps she was working yesterday. She have been, no, she might have been working yesterday.
Very good. Okay, notice how the past continuous translates into using have been working. Okay, very good. It translates into using the been and working. Okay. For the same reason, okay, working we can use as a continuous verb, so it's going to work there. All right. Okay, let's try a couple with might not. Daniel, number 9.
Yeah. Perhaps she doesn't want to see me. Perhaps she might not want to see me.
You got it. Okay, good job with the want. Good job. You got it that time. Great. You couldn't say she might not want to be seeing me. I don't know. You got it. She might not want to see me. Okay. Great.
Hell yeah.
Salvatore, number 10.
Okay. Working today. Uh, uh, she she might not be working today.
That's it. You got it. Very good. Okay. You guys are getting the idea here. All right. Reina, number 11.
Okay. Perhaps she wasn't feeling well yesterday. Perhaps she might not have been feeling well yesterday.
You got it. Excellent. Okay. That's it. Okay. Very good. All right. Okay. Next set of exercises, complete each sentence with a verb in the correct form. Where's Ben? I'm not sure. He might be having lunch. Okay, so the mights and mays are already there, but you have to figure out the form. Okay. David, back to you, number 2.
Okay. Who is that man with Anna? I'm not sure. It might be her brother.
That's it. Okay, straightforward, present tense. Okay, very good. Carolina, number 3. Dialogue.
Who was the man we saw with Anna yesterday? I am not sure. Um, it might have been her brother.
That's it. You got it. All right? Very simple, past tense. May have been her brother. Okay, great. Daniel, number 4.
What are those people doing by the side of the road? I don't know. I suppose they might be waiting for a bus.
There you go. Waiting is definitely commonly continuous or progressive verb, and yeah, okay. So no problem making that using the ing form there. Yep, perfect. You got it. Salvatore, number 5.
Is Sarah here? I can't see her. She might not. She might not One moment, please.
Hmm.
She she might not be here yet.
Very good. All right. It does say may not, but may not, might not, interchangeable. Doesn't matter really. She may not be here yet, or you might say she may not be in yet.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, either one, but here's perfectly correct. Okay, using might, figure out the situation from the information here. I can't, for example, I can't find Jeff anywhere. I wonder where he is. He might have gone shopping. He might be playing tennis. Okay, there you go. Number 2, Raina, I'm looking for Sophie. Do you know where she is?
Okay. She might have watched TV or it's okay.
Where is she right now? I am looking for Sophie. I'm using present continuous, so that means right now. Do you know where she
Okay.
is? So I'm really asking, where is she right
Okay.
now?
She might have watching TV.
Nope. We don't need to use past tense. We can use present tense. She
Okay.
might be.
Okay.
She
She
might
might
be.
be watching
That's it.
TV.
She might be watching TV. That's it. Exactly.
Or okay, on letter B, she might be going out.
Well, okay. Yeah, okay, well, she might be going out, but that would mean, when we say I might be going out, that would mean it's actually right now my plan for the future, or not very good plan because it's very tentative, which would mean that I wouldn't be missing, all right? Logically speaking, if you're looking for me and I said, oh, I might be going out, I'm right here, so I'm not missing. But the sentence is I'm looking for Sophie. So you're going to have to use past tense here, logically. That's why Sophie's not there.
Okay.
Because she already went out. Okay? So logically, this one's going to be past tense.
Okay.
Okay? So past tense, can you try to make be past tense then?
She might have gone
Out. Yes.
out.
That's it. Out.
Okay.
Yes. It's a phrasal verb, go out, and by the way, it doesn't, if we use phrasal verbs, those are verbs that are 2 or occasionally 3 words. Phrasal verbs, anytime you're learning verb tenses or working with modals or whatever, phrasal verbs can work the same way as normal verbs. But, you know, if you're trying to figure out something like this, don't forget the particle. Don't forget the out, for example, here.
Okay.
That's actually a common mistake. Students kind of try to say it in a different way, and they forget to add the particle. And now the verb doesn't mean what it used to mean without. Okay, so be careful of that. Okay, Ali, welcome to the class. Hello.
Hey, teacher.
Hello again. You want to give this a try?
Yeah.
Sure, all right. I'm going to try to form the sentences A and B using might.
Okay.
Okay, so I can't find my umbrella. Have you seen it, Ali?
It might be in the car.
Perfect. All right. Straightforward, present tense. And B.
You you might living in the restaurant.
Nope.
Left.
Left. Okay, you're getting closer. But you need to also have the auxiliary verb have to show past tense with might. You might have left.
In the restaurant.
Yeah. Well, we also need an object noun. You might have left it in the restaurant.
Yeah, you might have left in the restaurant.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, very good. Thank you, David. Number 4. Why didn't Dan answer the doorbell? I'm sure he was home at the time.
He might have gone to bed early.
Great.
He not here. He might not heard the doorbell.
It's going to be past tense.
Past tense.
Yeah, because
he might have he might not have heard.
Yes, that's it. He might
The
not
doorbell.
have heard the doorbell. Has to be past tense because he said, "Why didn't
Didn't. Yes,
he
yes.
answer the doorbell?" That's in the past. Okay.
And he might have been in the shower.
Yeah, this one's debatable. He might have been in the shower. He might still be in the shower. Okay.
Okay.
Notice when I throw in that extra adverb. Still, he might still be in the shower. Notice the placement. Okay, right. Exactly same spot the not goes. All right. He might still be in the shower.
Okay. Okay. I got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, we're gonna zip forward, and I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit more other uses of may and might, and then we'll do some more exercises. So, okay. All right, more about may and might. We can use may or might to talk about possibility in the future. Okay, for example, I haven't decided yet where to go on holiday. I may go to Ireland. Maybe. Maybe not. It's no accident that the word maybe is very much like may. Okay? May be. May happen. May exist. May not exist. Okay. Take an umbrella with you. It might rain later. All right, 50-50 chance. Still, we're kind of talking about probability here. The bus isn't always on time. We might have to wait a few minutes. Okay, we're talking about probability of something happening in the future, really. We could, instead of using may or might, we could use phrases like perhaps I will, or maybe I will, maybe it will, all right, using simple future. All right. Negative forms are may not. Again, may not has no contracted form, doesn't exist in English, or might not. Amy may not go out tonight. There might not be enough time to discuss everything at the meeting. Okay, we're talking about the future. Okay, what's the difference? Will and may or might. I'll be late this evening. You're certain. I may be late this evening. Possible. There's a chance. Some percentage of probability. I can always change the simple future. I'll be late this evening. Okay. Probably I'll be late this evening. Perhaps I'll be late this evening. I can really do the same thing as I'm doing with the modals, actually. Not really any different. Okay. All right. I may go to Ireland. I may go to Ireland. You can usually use either one is the idea here. They're interchangeable, at least for this purpose they are. However, when the situation is real, they're interchangeable. Okay? However, when you jump into the subjunctive, that means an imaginary situation, a hypothetical situation, something that is not real, or at least not now, it's not real, then we're going to use might. We will not use may. For example, if they paid me better, I might work harder. All right? Well, if they paid me better, the fact is they do not. So it is not real. You cannot say, if they paid me better, I may work harder. You can say, if they pay me better, simple present tense instead of past tense in the if clause. Then you can say, if they pay me better, I may work harder. This indicates, this is a conditional sentence, and you're indicating that it is a real conditional, first conditional, and that it is actually possible. If they pay me better, I may work harder. Okay, no problem. But when we're dealing with the second conditional, which is hypothetical or imaginary or unreal conditional, notice the past tense in the if clause, paid. Not pay, but paid, then we have to use the hypothetical might. Okay. Okay, there is a continuous form, may or might be ing. Okay, fine. Yeah, we kind of already discussed this. I'll be watching the football on television at 8:30. Don't phone at 8:30. I might be watching, or I may be watching the football on TV. Okay. Fine. We've basically already talked about using the continuous. Again, be careful of non-continuous verbs. You can't use them like this. I might be owning a car next year is not going to work. It's simply not possible. So you have to revert back to a simpler form. I might own a car next year.
Just a question.
Sure.
Okay. In the second sentence, don't phone at 8:30.
Mm-hmm.
If I use, for example, instead of I might be watching or I may be watching, if I use something like maybe I'll be watching the football on TV, is it the same?
Yeah. Perhaps I'll be watching the football on TV. Okay. Yes. It's pretty much the same. Really not any different. But, you know, I think it would be more likely to use the modal form here, as it is here in the material. Okay. If we're trying to give the odds on what I might be watching, sounds a little more normal in this circumstance than to say maybe I'll be watching the football. Don't phone at 8:30. Maybe I'll be watching football. I don't know.
Yeah, I always use
Okay.
maybe because I didn't know how to use properly might and may. Now I know. So.
Okay. I think in this kind of circumstance where you're actually trying to talk about something at a predicted time, something quite specific, I think it's more natural to use a modal. You know, vague generalities. Maybe I'll go to France someday. Okay, it might be more normal to use perhaps or maybe for vague generalities, you know. And that's just a very general outline, guys. I mean, a very general statement. In general, I think you tend to use the modals for more specific things. Okay, we use may or might be ing for plans. Well, there you go. I'm going to Ireland in July, that's for sure. I might be going to Ireland soon. It's possible. Okay. Same way that we use will, simple future, to predict something as a prediction of something you're sure it's true, but we use I am going to verb, simple future to discuss a plan. Very similar to that idea. Okay, last thing here. Might as well. Very common English phrase that some people kind of struggle with and don't really understand. Well, here it is. Okay. Helen and Claire just missed the bus. The buses run every hour. What shall we do? Shall we walk? We might as well. It's a nice day, and I don't want to wait here for an hour. Okay, so might as well do something. We should do it because there's no better alternative. There's no reason not to do it. Might as well. Doesn't matter. Might as well. Okay. Very common phrase in spoken English. May as well is also possible. I think might as well is a little more common, but again, same meaning in both of these expressions. All right. What time are you going out? Well, I'm ready, so might as well go right now. Might as well. Buses are expensive these days. You might as well get a taxi. Taxis are as good. There's no reason not to just get a taxi. It hardly costs any more. So that's the idea. Okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hang on a second. I've had a misfunction. Oh, and I can't get rid of it. Great. Malfunction. Oh, great. That's terrific. Love it when this happens. Okay, guys, it's like this. I've had a technological malfunction, and there's not much I could do about it. Let me try something. I don't think this will work. I may have to close the window, or you guys stay here, but I might have to leave and then come back in 1 minute. Because it appears I'm not going to be able to access this. Okay, everybody, don't panic. Sit tight. I'll be right back. There's nothing I can do.
It might be tired.
What's that?
It might be tired.
It might be what?
Might be tired.
Tired? Yeah.
Tired.
It might be stupid Adobe Acrobat doesn't want to function right. Okay. Stay here. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Okay.